Warriors, in this video, we're going to talk about how anxiety fatigue is keeping you from true healing. Let's go. Warriors, welcome to another important video on my channel. Thank you so much for joining me here today. We are going to go through anxiety fatigue. This is something that I dealt with for many years. I get so many questions on anxiety fatigue, where it comes from, what perpetuates it, and what can we do about it. Towards the end of this video, I'm going to give you 5 very powerful things that you can begin doing today to reverse the anxiety fatigue. But first, let's understand what perpetuates the anxiety fatigue, okay? The thing that keeps it alive more than anything else is this intention to fight it off, right? And when we fight the anxiety fatigue, we have no energy left to strengthen our new belief systems, right? We're always in this mode to fight everything, right? And so when we fight the anxiety fatigue, we find ourselves even more fatigued based on the fighting. And next thing you know, it's 1 or 2 p.m. and we've got nothing left to give to the external world, right? Someone is engaging with us in a conversation and we feel like we're running up a hill, we're sprinting up a hill just to be able to maintain that conversation. We feel like we need to take a nap right early in the afternoon. We feel exhausted because of the fighting, right? So this is something you want to keep in the back of your mind. Instead of fighting the anxiety fatigue, you want to get to a place where you are keeping a lot of the energy that you need throughout the day for other things, because energy is a finite resource. We only have a certain amount of energy. And if we're fighting our anxiety fatigue all the time, we're going to have nothing left for the other aspects of our lives, okay? So that's the first thing. And when it comes to the acronym, in terms of what happens with anxiety fatigue, it comes down to the acronym known as MURKY, M-U-R-K-Y. We're going to go through every one of these letters, and I want you to comment below and let me know if you can relate to some of these things that happen with anxiety fatigue, okay? M stands for magnification, okay? Magnification. What happens is our senses are always picking up information in the external world, right? And when we have anxiety fatigue, everything that we pick up becomes 10x'd, okay? 10 times what it normally picks up. So with anxiety fatigue, you're walking down the street, right? And a car alarm goes off and you're going, whoa, like, what is that? Is that a gunshot? Is that a machine gun going off? And your body starts to become even more sensitized. Next thing you know, you've got all this tension being built up, right? So magnification happens. And this is important to keep in the back of your mind, because a lot of anxiety sufferers who experience this fatigue feel like they're going crazy, right? And they're always trying to reel in the magnification, saying, hey, it's not too bad, right? To other people. They don't want to cause a scene, right? But in reality, everything is becoming magnified, right? So keep it in the back of your mind that this is a normal response to the anxiety fatigue, okay? You is we begin undervaluing our progress, okay? Is this you? Comment below if in fact it is, right? We feel like our progress is gonna be short-lived, right? So we make some progress. We're like, oh, I have some energy here, right? The unfortunate part of this is the moment an anxiety sufferer who's dealing with fatigue gets some energy, they tend to go crazy with it, right? I'm going to go running, a marathon. I'm going to go play a lot of tennis and these sorts of things. I've got my energy back. No, this isn't the response, right? We want to first feel neutral before we get back to normal, if that makes sense, right? Before we can do all these other things, right? Giving speeches, putting ourselves out there, exercising frantically, and these sorts of things, we want to make sure that we feel a sense of normalcy first, right? We don't want to push ourselves too hard, but we begin undervaluing our progress because we feel like it's going to be short-lived. Now, this is a trick. This is a trick coming from your inner child, allowing you not to focus on the positives, right? Your inner child wants you to focus on the negatives in order for you to stay prepared to the next potential threat, whether that be real or imagined. So this is a trick by the inner child that says, hey, you made some progress, great, but it's gonna be short-lived, so don't go on celebrating it. Don't write it down in your journal. Don't focus on it, right? But what you do want to do is you want to give more emotional intensity to the progress that you're making, right? You want to really put your hand on your heart and go, man, this is great. I'm doing some good things here. I feel like my energy is coming back slowly. Fantastic, right? So that's the you in murky. What else happens? R, this one, reversal. Reversal happens. So with negative automatic thinking, okay, the moment someone makes some progress over their fatigue and they want to engage in creative thinking, meaning logical, rational, updated thinking, right? Not the thinking that we've been living by since our childhood in terms of fear. The moment we start to feel like we're making progress, right, we get afraid and we create a reversal, right? We think that thinking will take up too much energy, so we revert back to what's been familiar in our lives. Therefore, our system checks in and says, what's the most familiar way of perceiving this situation? Well, this is it because we practiced it so often. So we revert back to those negative automatic thoughts because of this fatigue, right? But here's my advice to you, okay? Creative thinking will use up less energy than reverting back to the negative automatic thoughts, because the negative automatic thoughts tend to spiderweb from one to the next, creating tension, more fatigue, and more anxiety in the body, right? Next thing you know, we're engaged in things like distraction action. We go in, our phone and we start doom scrolling and stuff just to not be able to think about the fatigue. So reverting back to negative automatic thoughts is more tiring than engaging in creative thinking, meaning creating a new idea around what's taking place. This is a more than anxiety moment, my friends. Take it in, reel it in right now. Something happened. You have the choice as to how to think about that thing that just happened, even if you have perceived it as a bad thing for a long period of time, okay? So this starts to happen in the murky effect with anxiety fatigue. Then K happens. K is we become kerfuffled, right? We become kerfuffled. Confusion strikes. And we begin to self-criticize ourselves, right? Oh my God, is this gonna be the rest of my life, right? Criticism starts coming in. We start feeling more confused. This is all normal. This is all normal. And remember, the most important thing is after that initial kerfuffleness, right? You wanna go, hey, I know what sort of perceptions, what sort of actions will take me down a deeper hole into fatigue. I know how to get there. But today I'm going to choose to go in this direction instead, right? Because so much of my healing around this fatigue, along with people that I work with, come down to the ability to not fight off what it is you're feeling or thinking, but to allow and accept those things as you go about the day without frustration, right? Without allowing them to, be a leash on your neck, dragging you here and there, right? So kerfuffled, we start to feel kerfuffled, normal, right? And then finally, why? In the MURKY effect, why happens with anxiety fatigue? Yearning. We begin yearning for the days of our past. We're going, oh my God, back in the day, I used to have so much energy. I used to be so engaged with things. Yes, you might have gone through better times back in the day, but it's important for you to understand that this yearning gets you nowhere. In fact, what it does is it keeps you in a deeper hole of victimhood. Next thing you know, this victimhood becomes an addiction, right? We become addicted to being a victim, because being a victim sometimes provides us with connection from others. People start listening to us. We find an identity with victimhood that we feel we may not find if in fact we heal from all this anxiety stuff, right? So if this is you, it's important to be brutally honest with yourself, and say, hey, I'm dealing with this victimhood and I know the limits that it brings with it, but today I choose not to be a victim anymore. And as much as it feels unfamiliar and unknown, I know the key to healing is in my ability to no longer allow myself to be attached to this victimhood, right? So that happens, my friends. So what do we do about it? Okay, you've got this fatigue lingering within you. What do we do about it? Well, there's a couple things that you want to keep in mind. Number one is you want to get adequate rest, okay? A lot of people out there feel like, when I rest, I don't feel productive. I'm lazy. So they start labeling themselves when they start resting more. But your body is actually telling you what it really needs in order to heal itself, right? So get adequate rest. In fact, when I was dealing with this, I let myself sleep in. Sometimes, of course, I had a very good pattern in terms of what time I went to bed, what time I woke up. But I let myself have that extra hour or 2 hours to rest. And if I did wake up, I didn't sprint from one thing to the next, right? I brought my symptoms with me. I brought my fatigue with me. I never fought those things. I never tried to reverse those things. I didn't engage in any kind of volition. I never created enough willpower. I have to get rid of this now or else, So you want to get adequate rest. Get adequate rest, okay? Grounding exercises create that rest, okay? Spending time in naturistic environments, fantastic. Meditation, obviously. Even music, listening to binaural beats, for example, 432 hertz can go a long way. Nature's rhythm, nature's tones can go a long way to reversing this fatigue. So get adequate rest is number one. Number two is make sure that you set some time aside for regular mini vacations throughout the day, right? So what I used to do is I used to set my alarm, right? 11 a.m., 2 p.m., 5 p.m., 9 p.m. These are mini vacations that I took throughout the day. And during these mini vacations, I allowed myself to sit on the bench and simply observe the external world. Sometimes a mini vacation was allowing my symptoms to come with me as I was sitting or walking, right? That would be a mini vacation, kind of like you're walking your dog. Come on, we're going for a walk now, right? If you're going to get worse with the symptoms, get worse, whatever it is, right? These are mini vacations, right? Allow yourself to do breathing practices. Allow yourself to journal. Allow yourself to converse with somebody, in a very, back and forth communicative manner. Whatever it is, right? Take these mini vacations throughout the day. It's going to go a long way towards you getting back to this normalcy, right? The energy coming back. Thirdly, what helped me a lot was adding 100 to 500 milligrams of magnesium into my diet, because what's interesting is right now there's a lot of things going around talking about vitamin D, but the truth is Your vitamin D doesn't get absorbed into your body if you don't have enough magnesium, okay? Magnesium can help with overwhelm. Magnesium can help with fatigue. Magnesium can help with exhaustion. And it really, really helped me with my physical symptoms. Of course, it took some time, right? But 100 to 500 milligrams of magnesium a day will really, really help, my friends, okay? So these are some of the things that you can begin doing in order to reverse the fatigue that you're feeling. But more than anything, and I'm going to add a few more things in the description, right? More than anything, you want to stop fighting the fatigue. You want to stop fighting the fatigue. You want to start listening to your body, and you want to begin replacing the deficiencies, okay? The deficiencies, the vitamins, the minerals, the deficiencies that you currently have. And my friends, I promise you, I've been in those shoes. I know what it's like. I know the pain. I know the difficulties, but pay attention. Pay attention to the things that make it worse. Pay attention to the habits that have been normalized in your life. And if you do this, you're going to start picking up on patterns, and you can start reversing that, my friends, because eliminating this fatigue, we have to bring to our focus the things that we haven't been aware of for quite some time, right? And if we do this, we're going to go, oh my God, this is out of whack. This is out of balance. This is out of balance. This is where my energy is going. This is where my energy is going. And just start reflecting, right? These are very, very important things, but I promise you, you can reverse this. You can do this, okay? I promise you, I've seen it on a daily basis with people going through my programs. I see it every single day. So don't be too hard on yourself and just keep going, my friends. If this video spoke to you, please comment below. Let's engage in a chat. I promise you, I will do my best to comment back. And remember that you are more than anxiety. I'll see you in the next video. Bye, my friends.